All right, so we are back. Today's date is Tuesday, September 24th. We're taking some more notes for robotics. Open SCAD. Today's date is the 24th, as I said, 9/24. All right, so let's talk about difference.
I know what it is.
I need to come to the line. Difference, write it down.
I know what it is. Wait, what? This already had it written on it. What?
The difference command. Again, this is in your cheat sheet. If I come back over here, let's look at, what is it going to be called? Boolean operations, right up here. We have union, which we haven't talked about. Difference is going to be the one that you use over and over again. Intersection, if you're cool, you're going to be using that one. But mainly you're going to be using difference over and over again. So how do you use difference? Well, obviously I call the difference command. Difference. And then you do open parentheses. And then the next things that are going to happen, usually you want a curly brace. And then you're going to end your curly brace somewhere down here. And you can say with a comment, end your difference. So you can have a difference command that has multiple objects inside of it. You don't just have to have two. Most people will just have two. You could have 17 if you wanted to. I'll tell you what each of those means. I guess if you're planning ahead, you would have 3 lines in here, 1, 2, and 3, but it doesn't really matter. You can always squeeze more in. So our difference command, we want to have a hole in a shape. The whole idea is, how can I punch a hole out of a shape? How do I get a cylinder that is like a cup? How do I make a cup shape, for example? That is taking a hole out of a solid shape. So this one, I'm going to make a cup. So to make a cup, I need the cylinder command.
Oh my god, we're fighting it all. Oh my god.
The cylinder command, we don't know how to do that one yet, but again, if we come down here to 3D, the cylinder, there are 2 different ways to do a cylinder. They are both right here. If I were to zoom in, these are the cylinder commands. Usually, this is the quickest way to go unless you're doing a cone. If you're doing a cone, then you can use this cylinder command. Let's just assume that we're doing basic cylinders. We're going to do this one. So I'm going to do the height and then the radius. Or I guess the diameter would make more sense. So I'm going to do the height and the diameter and then be done with this. So I'm going to say that the height is equal to, I don't know, 20, and that the diameter is equal to, let's do, I don't know, 10. I want to cut a hole out of this cylinder. I'm going to cut a cylinder out of a cylinder so that way the inner hole is a cylinder and the outer shape is a cylinder. The way that I do that is with another cylinder. You might need to translate here, so make a note for later. In between here and here, you might need to translate. But you definitely need another cylinder. This cylinder obviously needs to be smaller than your previous cylinder. If it is the exact same size, then there will be nothing left. If I do 2 minus 2, I'm left with 0. I need to do something like 2 minus 1 and get 1. Something is remaining. So my new cylinder, I can make it the exact same height, but I'm going to make the diameter smaller. So I'm going to do the exact same height, 20. Again, the first parameter is your height. And then your second parameter, the diameter, I need to make this slightly smaller. I'll make it 8. I'll show you how this works, and then we'll do a problem where you have to do everything by hand and tell me exactly what the walls are going to be. Is there a quiet raised hand that knows this already? What is the wall distance going to be? How thick are the walls of this one going to be? Assuming that everything is translated so that they're centered. Oh, wow, quite a few people. Ellery? Good guess, but no. Anyone else?
Oh, wait.
Hold it.
Anyone else know this? It's not 2. India?
Oh.
It is 1.
That's what I said.
What's happening here, go ahead and draw a picture, is that if this is my hole, and then this is my actual cylinder on the outside. Yeah, I'm not the best artist here.
That's a box with the round top box. That looks like a box.
If this length right here, thank you, Gunnar. If this length right here is 8, and this length right here is 10, then yes, 8 minus 10 is 2, but this wall distance right here is going to be 1. This wall distance right here is going to be 1. The thickness of the walls is really 1. Or you could think of this as subtract the diameters and then divide by 2. If I did instead radius is equal to 10 and radius is equal to 8, then you would be correct in thinking that the wall has a thickness of 2. I'll show you what this looks like. So if I come over here to open SCAD, let's go ahead and comment out the box. When I render, I now have nothing. So instead of doing a module, I'm just going to go ahead and do this. So difference, and then I'm going to start my curly brace, end my curly brace down here, and I'm going to say end my difference. Up here, I'm going to do a cylinder. My height is 10. Wait, did I say 20? 20, and then my diameter is equal to 10. Don't forget, remember, semicolon. Right now, nothing happens. I just have my cylinder. Ooh, by the way, we should... I was just about to say that. Yeah, we need to learn how to make this thing smooth. If I zoom in here, let's zoom into size and zoom in. Notice how this doesn't look really smooth. It's kind of like a... It's not a hexagon, but it's definitely some sort of polygon, or polyhedra, I guess. That's not a cylinder. If I want to make this smooth, I can do comma, money Fn is equal to, I don't know, something bigger like 50. If I do that, it's nice and smooth. If I change this to 100, it's really, really smooth. If I change it to 1,000, you basically can't, thank you. You can basically not even tell that it's a polyhedra. It looks like just a cylinder at this point. So let's go ahead and add that to the notes. If, I know we're running out of room here, but if right here I did comma, money sign, Fn is equal to something like 100, it will make it smooth. And you can make a note here.
It's gonna make a weird.
Wait, what if you don't want it to be smooth like friction?
Yeah, because we don't have a translate. Is that what you're thinking?
Just gonna make a weird difference like that because one of them's gonna have an FN of 5, one of them's gonna have an FN of 100.
Sindel, what if like, Sindel, what if we want not FN both? What if we want to not FN it for friction purposes?
That's fine. So this one is going to be 20. I said that the diameter was going to be 8. And I'm going to do my money sign Fn is equal to 100. And why are my, oh yeah, I can just make it look the same. I can add spaces. It doesn't matter how many spaces you could have. You could have space, space. I could have space, space. It's going to be the same thing. And all of a sudden, it is now a hollow cylinder.
It does that weird glitchy.
So this glitchy thing that happens right here is because it has the exact same height. When I'm subtracting something that is the exact same height of this thing I'm subtracting from, that's what happens. If I were to instead go like this and translate this up, so if I do 0 in the x direction, 0 in the y direction, but 0.01 in the y direction, just shifting my hole up a little bit, it's gone. If you want to see what your cylinder looks like, you can always put a % in front of this, and you can see, oh, that's what the hole looks like. If I were to translate this up by 4.01, you can see that the hole has been translated up. And then if I get rid of this % sign, you can see that the hole returns. It is still hollow in the inside.
Ooh, I should make a cilantro bowl.
So if you want to know what that % does, it basically makes things, what is the correct word here? So if I come back here to my cheat sheet, oh, there it is. It makes things transparent. So we'll add that to our notes too. If you have the % makes transparent. That's how it says it, transparent. % will make it transparent. It's really good for seeing things. What if I just want to see the hole? What if I just want to see this hole and not this outer shape? Instead of doing a %, I could do an exclamation point. Look what happens. I do an exclamation point and it only shows me the hole versus showing me everything. If I do exclamation point, it says show that object only. And if I come over here, it says exclamation point, show only that. Putting a star in front of it is the same thing as commenting something out. Let's go ahead and you'll need the exclamation point. It'll help your lives immensely. Exclamation point, show only. All right, you guys, I have a challenge for you. Are you guys ready? You're going to write this down first, and then you're going to do the challenge. Your challenge right here, I don't know why the screen changed size there, but the challenge.
There's a challenge?
Yes, make this shape.
I think I want to make this cilantro bowl. sounds pretty good right now. What? What? You've never played 2%.
I want this hole
Don't put us in it.
to go all the way through this cube. I want this cube to be, let's say, 10 by 10 by 10, and I want this hole to have a diameter of 2. Make this with OpenSCAD. Copy this down and show me that you know how to make this with OpenSCAD. Good luck.